Hello and welcome back to Gotsom, and thanks very much for being here. Carlos, my man, how are you?
I'm very good, Angus. How are you going?
I'm thirsty. We have empty glasses in front of us, but they will be filled with a rosé very soon. But first, we want to thank everyone who's listening for one, or watching this on YouTube and Instagram. Gotsom with captions. But do you know much about our Patreon, Carlos?
Oh yeah, I have a brief idea from what you explained before. So it's our very dedicated listeners, isn't it?
It's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's people who want to take a deeper dive into the glass. So each episode that we record, including the one you're listening to right now, you see going for about 10 minutes, but really they might go for 20 or 30 minutes because Carlos has so much knowledge to impart us on, whether it be the winemaker, the varietal, the grape itself. So I cut out 10 minutes, but it seems a waste to throw away the rest of that information. So if you do want to learn more about this wine, previous episodes, future episodes, we do have a Patreon. The link is in our bio on Instagram if you want to join us there and take a deeper dive. But Carlos, tell us what we're going to be drinking today.
So for today, we have rosé from Shadowfax. This is called Minot, and is rosé from the 2020. The vintage 2020. So yeah, should be quite interesting. Beautiful pinkish label. Wine looks very summery. So I think it's the right time.
All right, let's crack this open and try our first rosé on Gotsom.
That's right. All right. Cracking sounds good.
It's the right sounding
The right sounding
bottle top for a 2020 vintage.
That's right.
Wow. It seems less pink in the glass.
Yeah, there's a lot of color, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Like
it seems like orange to me. It looks like a
Yeah.
weak Aperol spritz.
yeah,
Like when the
pretty much.
ice is melted down on a summer's day after you come back from the toilet.
That's right.
It's
Well,
terrible. Cheers.
There you go. Cheers.
What are we
Yeah,
taking in
this
first?
color, and I hope everyone can see there back home. I mean, looking at this color, it's pretty interesting, right? I mean, 1 year old, or let's say 2020, so 2 year old rosé right now with with a little bit of age. If you consider 2 years old for a rosé, most people will be drinking 2021. Very soon, in a few more months,
Oh,
you
so
have
you don't really come
2022.
across aged rosés.
It's not the most typical wine to age because everyone wants them fresh, clean, dry, straight off the tank.
So this is going to have no oak on it. It's going to be mostly from the tank.
Well, interesting enough, from the notes from the producer, there's actually some wild ferment in old French barrel. So it doesn't necessarily have oak influence or oak taste, but there is the influence, which is the microoxygenation, as the wine breathes through the oak. Yeah, and this may have given this color too,
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's much more
But
orange than red or pink.
but Angus, shall we approach it from the very beginning,
Let's do it, baby.
as we want the listeners to do?
With us as well.
That's right. Now, in terms of intensity of the color, pretty intense,
Pretty
right?
intense, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say high intensity of color as well. And then the color, you've mentioned it, like that orange.
Yeah, I just didn't expect that out of the bottle. And even like having the bottle, when it's in the bottle in its larger volume, it's not as orange as it is when you pour it into the glass
That's right.
individually.
That's right. It's actually a beautiful color.
Hmm.
Now, what do we smell? What do you think?
Well, full disclosure, it's been quite a while between recordings of this podcast, months in fact. So I'm trying to remember all the things I've learned diligently over episodes that we've released.
But then it
I th-
gets even harder because one is a rosé. It's actually not a white or a red, which is what we did before. So
Oh.
finding descriptors for
you
rosé
just
wine can be quite tricky sometimes as well.
throw me into the deep barrel of the wine. Okay.
Well, I thought you would be putting your work studying descriptors, Angus.
Okay. I think I smell a peel, like a
Mhm.
fruit peel.
Yeah. Well, you've mentioned the at the very beginning the Aperol when it melts. So what is Aperol?
Orange. Like I get
Yeah.
orange peel.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a little zest on it.
Yeah, I have nothing against that. Truly.
Um,
What else? So yeah, the orange peel. Is there like any stone fruit at all?
like maybe a little bit of like nectarine, like a
Mm.
peach, like that
R-
orange.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I see. Here's the thing about how dumb I am and how great hopefully this podcast will be for my learning. Is I'm now just going off the color. I may as well be saying I smell carrot at this point because it's orange.
No, but yeah, carrot.
Not in this.
no.
No.
Yeah, the orange peel I think is very good. I think it's a very big feature of the wine. But then, yeah, the stone fruit and as you said, the peach. I think ripe, juicy peach. You know that those little gums, peaches and cream or cream and peaches, are they called? Like
Like the
the little
lolly.
lollies, yeah.
Yeah.
I think also a touch of licorice. You get that? A little bit of,
I don't get that.
not a lot.
Hey, don't look to me for confirmation of your nose,
No,
mate.
I
You're
want,
the master sommelier.
I
I'm the
want,
dude off the street.
I want you to, I want you to,
Licorice.
I want you to smell that.
So I'm sort of looking for like
Like a
aniseed
red,
influence.
a
Yeah.
little bit, yeah, a little bit, red licorice. And but I think yeah, that orange is the most important. The ripe peach, touch of licorice, perhaps, perhaps
Don't worry.
some.
I'm going to bed happy that I got orange peel. Don't
Mm.
worry. I'm satisfied with
You good
with
with
my
that? Yeah.
nose. Yeah, I'm happy. Let's go.
Shall I
Cheers.
try? Cheers.
Saúde.
So your accent is getting better by the by the podcast each session. Mm. Dry or sweet, or anything in between.
It's dry, but it's not like super dry.
Yeah, that's right. You see, like the color, the aroma profile, the ripeness. We're not going for a rosé that is like tart. We are going for a rosé that is ripe, is warm, is rounder. And then he has, I agree, it's not super dry, not bone dry, but it's also not sweet.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a medium.
It's more to the dry than the medium.
Correct, but it's still, when I say medium, I don't want people to think that, oh my God, there is sweetness. And, no, it is a dry wine, it is a dry rosé, but with some sweeter notes. Let's say that. Acidity. How do you think is acidity? How much mouth watering?
Yes. If you want to learn how to assess acidity, make sure you head to the Gotsom Instagram on our reels. There's a great video there.
That's right. Again, acidity. What do you think on a scale from low, medium, or high?
In between medium and high.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. It's well, yeah, medium. I will say more medium actually than even between medium and high. I think it's medium. Like it doesn't make mouth watering a lot. If we were to have one of the previous wines we had in previous sessions, if we had the Riesling or any of the Chardonnay, you will sense a lot more mouth watering. I think this one is pretty flat. Like I wouldn't say flat, otherwise it's a low acid. I think it's a medium acid. I think it's balanced into the wine that we're tasting, but it's not high. It's not high. Body, you were eager
I'm interested.
to.
Yeah. Because I work off, what we learned very early on in the podcast is going from like that water to olive oil thickness scale. And I see this as surprisingly around medium for me.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm glad you picked that one on the olive oil because I was hearing one of our first podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
And I like hearing the olive oil. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if that sounds good. Like,
oh yeah, no,
tasting,
it's
but,
not it's not olive oil. It's the consistency,
correct,
the
correct.
glugginess of
correct.
what olive oil is.
Correct.
As an example that you can relate to, and for me, I would have before opening this bottle, looking at it in the glass in the bottle, I would have honestly said that it would have been light as what I expect from, the white wines that we've had in the past.
Yeah,
but
that's
no,
right.
there's a bit of body here.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you can see that as well, and we didn't talk about this in the beginning, but on the appearance, the legs. There's quite fast forming legs, creating this a lot of arches. So it's either sugar or alcohol, which obviously gives the perception of body in the palate, right? So and then we confirming on a palate. You said like it's not super full bodied, but it's also not light. So yeah, good medium body. Totally agree with that.
Love it.
Now flavors, I think there's nothing really new on the palate. You see,
No.
actually now bringing the peaches and cream. Sorry, we say strawberries and cream.
Strawberries and cream, peaches and cream, still the same.
Yeah, so you see how that now shows more on the palate, I would say, like with the ripeness, rounded rosé, a lot of flavor, then bringing in the orange zest, the ripeness, almost like caramelized orange on a pan,
Before we evaluate the wine and distinguish whether it is the best $30 or less or round bottle of wine that we can get, what would you pair this with?
I like salmon, and then you bring the salmon, which is a fat fish, barbecued salmon, but then you need the freshness because the wine does not have a lot of acidity. The fish is actually quite fat, so you want something that is high acidity to kind of balance that out. So as the wine don't have the acidity, as the fish, the salmon do not have the acidity, we got to bring a sauce that is full of freshness, full of acidity. Whether is a pickled salad, pickled vegetable salad to bring in that acidity, that freshness in the palate. I think that's what we could go for. So
Nice.
barbecued salmon and pickled vegetable salad on the side.
Is this the best $30 a round bottle of wine?
I think rosé. I think it's pretty good. I would love to try it out with a dish. But let's see. Let's keep on searching.
The search continues. That's Carlos's nice way of putting it. I have to say, I enjoyed this glass so much more than I expected.
Hmm.
This really went beyond my expectations. I'm really happy with this. Shout outs to Shadowfax. And what was it, Minnow?
Minnow, yeah,
Yeah, the Minnow Rosé 2020.
yeah.
Congratulations on a great. And I think this was $20.
Yeah, I think it's 22, 23,
Yeah,
something like
something
this.
like that.
So we well under the $30, which
Yeah.
is pretty good. I agree.
Cheers, Carlos.
Cheers, Angus.
To the next episode.
Bye. Take care.